want to tell you guys, man, out there to never surrender. I don't know what your struggle is. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know where you're at in your life. And excuse me if it's a little windy out here. I'm outside. I don't know what season you are in your life. But I do know this, man. As long as you never surrender to that pain, never surrender to that struggle, never surrender to that hate, never surrender to that judgment, never surrender to that doubt. As long as you never surrender, man, you'll find a way through. As I always tell you guys, man, there's no strength without struggle. I know a lot of you might have some bad news this week. You know, whatever happens, whatever reports we get, we're going to accept those reports, but we're not going to accept it as a way to stay there. We're going to accept it and we're going to do something about it. When I'm out here running, man, I get tired. I hit a brick wall, but I tell myself never surrender. So I want you guys to stay in championship mode. I want you guys to keep fighting through. And I know some of you might feel like, you know, God doesn't hear you. You don't feel connected to God. You don't feel like God is in your life. Build that relationship with him. You know, if you want to hear God speak to you, get into his word, man. That's where he speaks to you the most. Protect your peace. Spend time in environments that uplift you. As I said in my last video not too long ago, man, you got to check your environment. Protect your environment. Okay, so this week, I want you guys to make a firm decision. Like, don't do this for me. Don't do this for social media. Don't do this for your friends. Don't do this for your family. You know, maybe they could be your why behind your motivation. That's good, but forget motivation, because motivation is only going to carry you so far. It's time for you to step up and make an impact. So this week, I want you to make a decision. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know if you have some type of test coming up. I don't know if it's some type of big deal coming up. I don't know if it's something you're dealing with at work. I don't know if it's a doctor you have to go see. I don't know if it's a fitness challenge. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're trying to get your body right, your mind right, your soul right. But make a firm decision, like a real decision, to not surrender this week. Okay, so whatever it is that you're going through, maybe it's problems in your marriage, maybe it's problems in your relationships, maybe it's problems with your kids, maybe it's problems in your own personal life, maybe it's problems with your past keeps coming up trying to defeat you. Never surrender. All right? People are going to throw your past up. Your past is going to try to come back. When you defeat your past, guess what? It's going to keep on coming until you surrender. But guess what? As long as you never surrender, that past can't do nothing with your life, man. So you keep moving forward. You keep having faith. You keep pushing on with strength. And you keep getting better. Life is not about perfection. Stop being so hard on yourself. You know, everybody expects perfection, but nobody can give perfection. So don't worry about the people who judge you for not being perfect. All right, as long as you're becoming better. Life is about progression, not perfection. You hear me? As long as you're becoming better. And this week is to never surrender. So when you come up to that challenge, you're going to come across it. When you come up to that brick wall, when you come up to that point where you feel like you can't go no more, when you come up to that point where you feel like life is over, when that addiction shows back up, when that temptation shows back up, never surrender. All right? Fight through it. I know it's easier said than done. You might be saying, Trent, but you don't know what I'm going through. It's impossible. I can't. It's just so much going on in my life. It's like battle after battle, test after test. And guess what? Test after test, you can pass it, and you can pass it again. Every time that struggle show up, guess what? You can conquer it again. Every time defeat tries to show up in your face, guess what? You can be victorious again. And again and again and again. And to the point where it don't affect you no more. Like, people think my life is easy, man. My life isn't easy. You know, the more I give to the world, the more attacks try to come against me. But I already made up in my mind a long time ago, whatever I do in life, I'm not surrendering. Unless it's to Christ. That's it. That's the only person I'm surrendering to. Straight up. See, a lot of us, we surrender to our problems. We give up. We surrender to everything in this world. We surrender to this world, but we don't surrender to God. So when you surrender to God, you got a strength inside of us that can survive any type of test. You hear me? That's the only thing you surrender to. It's him. You know, surrender to your passion. How about that? Surrender to your purpose. How about that? Surrender to those things. Surrender to the things that make you better, that push you. All right, stop surrendering to this negativity and letting these negative things, these negative seeds turn into a negative life and ruin your life. And you live that consistent life over and over of negativity, and you just get to a point where you feel like the climb isn't worth it. The climb is always worth it. The climb is always worth it. I can't get right here without climbing. I can't get to this beautiful sunset without climbing. Was it hard? Yeah. Did it suck? Yeah. Did I want to surrender? I sure did at a point. But I told myself I can't surrender, because I know at my mountain peak rests my peace. I know at my mountain peak rests everything that I want in this moment. And so you got mountain peaks every single day in your life. Every single day. They might not be huge mountains that you got to climb, but even the smallest mountain that you got to conquer it's still an accomplishment in itself, all right? So you make up in your mind right now, I want you to write it somewhere, write it down where you can see it, because I'm tired of seeing people give up because times get hard and life gets hard. That's a part of life. It's life, man. We all gonna have problems. It's a part of life. Without problems, how can our faith get stronger? Without problems, how can we grow? Right? We can't control what happens to us all the time, but we can control how we respond. We can't control if somebody leaves our life or disrespects us, but we can control what we accept. You're in control of that, okay? You're in control of that. So this week, tonight, this whole entire week, I don't care what you go do. I don't care if it's you going for a walk, a jog. I don't care if it's you setting a healthy meal plan up for the week. I don't care if it's you going to your job and you got to deal with the people at your job. I don't care what it is. Whatever negative thing shows up, whatever struggle shows up, whatever challenge shows up, whatever obstacle shows up, whatever opposition shows up, you don't surrender to it. You don't surrender to it, all right? Let's get it.